Chapter 18. The Girl Traveling on the Train. Have you ever befriended a blind person? In this story, Ruskin Bond writes a beautiful story of a blind companion, a young lady whom he had met on the train. I had the compartment of the train to myself up to Rohana, and then a girl got in. I guessed that the couple who came to see her off were her parents. They seemed very worried about her comfort, and the woman told her where to keep her things, when not to lean out of windows, and how to avoid speaking to strangers. As I was blind, I could not tell what the girl looked like, but I knew she wore slippers from the way they slapped against her heels, and I liked the sound of her voice. "Are you going all the way to Dehradun?" I asked her as the train pulled out of the station. I must have been sitting in a dark corner because my voice startled her. She gave a little exclamation and said, "I didn't know anyone else was here." This often happens to people with good eyesight. They fail to see what is right in front of them. They have too much to look at, I suppose. "I didn't see you either at first," I said, "but I heard you come in." I wondered how I could prevent her from discovering that I couldn't see. If I stayed in my seat without trying to get up, it shouldn't be too difficult. "I'm getting down at Saharanpur," the girl said. "My aunt is meeting me there." "Where are you going?" "To Dehradun, and then to Mussoorie," I replied. "Oh, lucky you. Wish I were going to Mussoorie. I love the mountains, especially in October." "Yes, this is the best time of the year," I said, remembering the day when I had been able to see. "The hills are covered with wild dahlias, the sun is wonderful, and at night you can warm yourself in front of a log fire. Most of the tourists have gone, and the roads are quiet." She was silent for a while. Then I made a mistake. "What is it like outside?" I asked. She didn't seem to find anything strange in the question. Had she noticed already that I could not see? But her next question removed my doubts. "Why don't you look out of the window?" she asked. I moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. The window was open, and I faced it, pretending to study the landscape. In my mind's eye, I could see the telegraph posts flashing by. "Have you noticed," I said, "that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still?" "That always happens," she said. I turned from the window and faced the girl, and for a time we sat in silence. "You have an interesting face," I said. It was a safe remark. She laughed pleasantly, a clear, ringing laugh. "It's nice to be told that," she said. "I'm so tired of people telling me that I have a pretty face." "Oh, so you do have a pretty face," thought I. And aloud I said, "Well, an interesting face can also be pretty." "You are very gallant," she said. "But why are you so serious?" "We'll soon be at your station," I said, rather abruptly. "Thank goodness it's a short journey. I can't bear to sit in a train for more than 2 or 3 hours." But I was prepared to sit there, just to listen to her talking. Her voice had all the sparkle of a mountain stream. As soon as she left the train, she would forget our brief meeting. But I know I would remember it for some time to come. The engine's whistle shrieked. The carriage wheels changed their sound and rhythm. The girl got up to collect her things. I wondered if she wore her hair in a bun, or if it hung down loose over her shoulders, or if it was cut very short. The train drew slowly into the station. Outside there was the shouting of porters and vendors, and near the carriage door a high-pitched female voice that must have belonged to the girl's aunt. "Goodbye," said the girl. There was some confusion in the doorway. A man getting into the compartment stammered an apology. Then the door banged shut, and I returned to my berth. The guard blew his whistle, and we moved off. The train gathered speed. The wheels took up their song. The carriage groaned and shook. I found the window and sat in front of it, staring into the daylight that was darkness for me. The man who had entered the compartment tried to make conversation. "What a pretty girl that was. The one who just left," he said. "She was an interesting girl," I said. "Tell me, was her hair long or short?" "I don't remember," he replied, sounding puzzled. "It was her eyes I noticed, not her hair. She had such beautiful eyes, but they were of no use to her. She was completely blind." "Didn't you notice